What's up? Collection update video time. This is one of them, which we'll be playing in the background. Have you ever been so excited about finally getting an album that you've wanted for a long time? This is one of those ones I've had for quite a while on dub cassette. This is Disciples of Power Trap, and Big Records reissued it, and when I saw it, I snagged that son of a bitch up like you wouldn't believe. This is one of my favorite thrash albums of all time. I never could really talk about this album because I never really had an album cover to show anybody. But this was released in 1989. It's a Canadian death thrash band. The vocalist kind of reminds me of a little bit of Martin Walkyier from Sagoth at times, and then he'll do a little squeal kind of like Schmiel does for Destruction, and then he does some death vocals kind of like Chuck Schuldiner. As you could hear, this is very progressive and technical. Absolutely love the guitar tone in this. I could go on for days on how badass this album is. If you don't know it, I will make sure to post a description and link below. This is a fantastic Canadian thrash metal album. I'm trying to get some more like, I think Anvil Bitch is another one I want. And man, there's another one, I can't think of it right now. It's fantastic. This is a dream come true, even though it's a CD. I don't mind. It's an actual physical copy. But yes. So that's number one. Next one I got was this. Of course, this is Violent Force and Malevolent Assault of Tomorrow. I should have had that memorized. Another album I've never actually owned a physical copy of. I've only had it on dub cassette. And this is a German Teutonic thrash band, released in 1987. And this is some speedsters. They're very fast. Almost some parts to me kind of sounds like crossover thrash, just a little bit, but still has that German Teutonic sound. Somebody mentioned this in my Teutonic Thrash video not too long ago. I forgot your name, but it reminded me about this album, so I decided to look up and see if I could find a copy of it. And I did, I found it. So this is a 2022 reissue by Hellish Torment Productions. Fantastic one. I will post a link if you do not know this. This is a badass fucking German thrash metal album. This is all pretty much thrash. I was going to show some vinyl, but I think I'm just going to do all the CDs, kind of like Roger did earlier today. He posted one. I think I'll just do the same thing, follow suit, and just show the CDs. Speaking of Roger, band from Norway, this is Nocturnal Breed, The Tools of the Trade, and released in 2000. I stumbled on this. I didn't know anything about this band. This is actually the first album I've ever purchased by them. I was looking up Wasp Ball Crusher, and it showed this, and I thought it looked interesting, so I clicked on the thumbnail. They cover Wasp Ball Crusher, which is really killer, but this is blackened thrash metal vocalist. I think his name is S.A. Destroyer, and his vocals are phenomenal. I love his vocals, and I love this album. I love the production on it. There's one song on there, I'm not sure which one it was, but when it first kicked on, I thought it was maybe going to be a Megadeth cover of My Darkest Hour, because it had that riff in it. And but this is absolutely fantastic. Blackened thrash tits. I didn't know that was going to be there. There's more tits. I just kind of flashed it. More tits. This album's tits. But definitely look this one up. Lyrics and everything. This is just some freaking masterpiece. Nocturnal Breed, Tools of the Trade. I'm getting more of their stuff. His vocals, to me, are very soothing. They kind of remind me like Carcass, Heartwork era vocal style. That I love the vocals on this, and I love the guitar work. This is a fantastic one. Definitely look this son of a gun up. Nocturnal Breed, Tools of the Trade. Next one up, Renee. I think Renee from Hospa Metal showed this. I can't remember, but I want to say Renee because this is a band from Spain, Barcelona. This is Aggression with Mosh Spirit, I think. I think it was supposed to be Mosh Spirit. Maybe that's how it's pronounced on Extreme Music. But released in 2009. And this album freaking is a banger. Modern thrash with that old school sound, and they do it pretty damn good. And I love that fucking artwork. But the band kind of reminds me of like Exodus style riffing with maybe I can't remember his name from Violence. His vocal style. I'll think of it in a minute. But look at that artwork. That's fantastic artwork. I'd love to have this on vinyl. But this one is a fucking killer thrash metal album. More of that artwork. I love that. Beast, Dragon, or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Hospa Metal showed this. But anyway, if you do not know it, of course, there will be a link in the description below. Excuse me. Fucking awesome fucking album. God damn, this is awesome. Album is phenomenal. God damn, I love that album. Next one up is a recent purchase. I was never really an Exodus fan, to be honest with you. I like Bonded by Blood a lot, and then after that it was hit and miss. And I seen this used in the record store, and I said, hell, why not? So I picked it up. And this is Exodus, and I think it's called Exhibition B, The Human Condition. And it blew me away. So now it makes me want to dive into more Exodus albums, because I had no idea they had an album this fucking badass after Bonded by Blood. And I know that somebody's gonna slap me The albums after that were pretty good, but nothing that really grabbed my attention. But this one right here is a thrash metal masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. Gary Holt's guitaring in this is some of the best guitaring I've heard in a long time. And saying that this was released, I forgot what year it was released. I didn't even look it up. Can't see that small print, but definitely if you kind of rubbed or snubbed Exodus off, definitely pick this one up, or check this son of a bitch out. This one, it's one of my go-to thrash metal albums by Exodus right now. Just absolutely fantastic. It's got a little bit of a progression to it, but the guitar solos are simply divine. The vocals and lyrics are divine. This is a freaking masterpiece. I wish I knew about this album a lot sooner. So yeah, Exodus, you made me a huge fan. Bonded by Blood is one of my favorite albums of all time, and I could say this is right up there with it. This is fantastic, and you guys probably all know this. So recently I made a trade with Black.Death.Thrash.Doom. Can't remember his handle of his channel. I'll post a link to it. And we made a trade. He wants some thrash CDs. I happen to have extra copies, so I decided that'd be a good deal. What we traded for, I made a comment on his video about cassettes, and he showed this. And this is one of my favorite Deicide albums of all time. I've never had an actual physical copy of it since late 90s, early 2000. I think the CD got destroyed I used to have. And then ever since then, it's just one of those albums that's hard to track down, and when you do, they want you to sell your kidney to buy it, and I wasn't willing to do that, so I've been holding off. I was really holding off for the box set that's getting ready to be released, and it has this on vinyl. Mr. Boulder just showed this album not too long ago, and I was like, man, I wish I had that album. This is definitely one of my favorite, and what I love about this album is the raw sounding production. This is on Roadrunner. This is just an absolutely fantastic Deicide album. Some people say it's the last great Deicide album. In my opinion, there's several other ones just as good, but this one just grabbed my attention. I love the chorus. His chorus work in this album is very catchy. I believe this album was released in 1997, but I like how it says Serpents of the Light. I love that riff. Blame It on God. I know some people hate that song. I fucking love it. I love the lyrics. I love his point of view. I understand where he's coming from. Maybe that's why it resonates with me. But I love how he does that. I love how his vocal spreads out between both speakers, and then it centers during his verses. Just something about the effects of this album. I love the artwork. Thank you. I can't remember her name. I think it's Joel, I want to say. But definitely check his channel out. He's got some really good stuff. Back in the day, before I started doing my channel, I was watching a lot of videos, and he was one of them that I watched. So when he recently started surfaced and started doing videos again, I thought that was great. So Deicide, thank you. Next one up we traded for was this Bell Sagoth, the Power Cosmic, sorry. I've heard Brain Smasher talk about this band. I never really listened to them. I did hear, was it Blood Moon over Lemuria? I think it's what it's called. And Battle Magic. I heard those two albums just based on Brain Smasher. So when he pictured this in the trade, I was like, hell yeah, I gotta get a copy of it. So it's very fantastical. Best way to describe it, if you don't know this band, and maybe it's kind of a black metal band with some death metal influences and a lot of keyboard work. And not just your basic keyboard work, it's fantastic keyboard work. It's big production keyboard work. It reminds me of something that like Glory Hammer would do. Maybe Glory Hammer stole that from these guys. If you know who Glory Hammer is, power metal band. But this is fantastic. I've really enjoyed this album, and it makes me want to pick up more of their stuff, so I'm going to. But fantastic one. This is on Nuclear Blast. I think it's first press. Next one we got in the trade was, I really didn't know anything about this band. I think Classy Metal, I want to say, Lonnie. He showed this in a video a long time ago. I remember him showing this one. What really caught my eye was the artwork. Really Morbid Angel looking artwork. This is Necro Beast, Eternal Realms of Torment, and it's released in 2013. And I want to say this is self-released. Looks like. I'm pretty sure it's a self-release. Just going by this because it's not any Necro piece. It's not anything like their logo. But what it reminds me of is maybe a little bit of Deicide and maybe Tucker era Morbid Angel. It's the best way to place it. It has its own sound. I can't recall a guitar solo in this album, but it's a really good album. So I will post a link to this one. Skeletons of the Rotting is my favorite track on this one, so I'll post a link in the description below to that song. But judge for yourself. It's a really good third tier death metal album. Really, it's good stuff. Definitely look this one up. And then the last one I'm going to talk about, you know, I picked it up because I'd never heard of this band. It's Battlecross, and this is War of Will, released in 2013. I did look that up. Saw it used about the same day I bought the Exodus album. And to be honest with you, I'm not thoroughly impressed with it. And maybe I need more lessons to it. It has thrash elements, melodic death metal, quite a bit. Reminds me of At the Gates, but it's really good. But the vocals kind of annoy me a little bit. I wish if he sang in a deep guttural vocal instead of that high pitched rasp all the way through it. He does have some killer guttural vocals he does in this, but it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes that style, it's a newer style metal, has to grow on me a little bit. So maybe it's just will, maybe it won't. Maybe I'll end up in a VCLT to somebody. But it's not bad. My favorite track on it was where is it? I think it was Beast. It's one of the heavier tracks. I did like that one. So I'm gonna listen to this a couple more times and move on. So anyway, that's my this collection update video. I think tomorrow I'll do the vinyl portion, but this I'm gonna close off. Memories. Check this out if you don't know it. Y'all have a good one later. Badass.